This is Amhara Media Corporation Haber channel and you are watching our Tuesday update live from Bahardar, Ethiopia, and I am Fukrati Zewdu. Stay tuned. Ethiopian ambassadors and diplomatic missions have vowed to promote Ethiopia's splendid tourism destinations to their respective countries of mission. Modamuliye will give us the detail.
Officials of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, heads of mission and pertinent institutions under the ministry have visited the Gorgora project, which is among one of the 3 tourism destination projects under construction as part of the Dine for Ethiopia initiative. Speaking with the Ethiopian news agency after the visit, the ambassadors have said that by developing its natural resources, the Dine for Ethiopia project will enable the country to benefit from its tourism sector. The ambassadors further noted that they will work harder to make foreign visitors come and visit the projects. They also said that they will promote tourist destinations in the country. Ethiopian ambassador in Turkey, Adam Mohammed, said the Gorgora development project is a major tourism destination being carried out by preserving nature.
ትልቅ የቱሪዝም መዳረሻ ሊሆን የሚችል ነገር ነው እየተሰራ ያለው.
What is being built here is magnificently beautiful. It can be a huge tourism destination. It shows that we are able to achieve by ourselves everything we are amazed at seeing in other countries. This is what it means by loving a country and building its image. Therefore, all of us have to know about this project and support so that it can be realized.
የምንደነቀንባቸው ነገሮች እዚህ አምጥተን ራሳችን ሀገር ላይ ማድረግ እንደምንችል የሚያሳይ ፕሮጀክት ነው.
The Gorgora project resembles with other projects found in the world that we have been greatly surprised with, he said, adding that it is everyone's responsibility to promote these new tourist attractions to the world. Ethiopian ambassador to Canada Fitsum Arega on his part said Dine for Ethiopia projects will contribute to bringing out the natural reach of the country and help in image building. He said that these projects should be promoted as their contribution to generate income is huge.
I wonder what a tourism site it will become. It will drive high-level meetings and conferences to take place here. It can generate a huge revenue for the tourism sector. The beautiful scenery of the place, accompanied by its conducive weather condition, can drive tourists all the year round, and it can be a huge industry by itself.
Ethiopian ambassador in Zimbabwe, Rashid Mohammed, on his part said Dine for Ethiopia projects can largely play a crucial role in displaying Ethiopia's natural resources that have been out of sight from the world, with a view to promoting the country's tourism and strengthen economic benefits.
እነዚህ ጎርጎራ አካባቢ ያለው የውሃ አካል ድሮም ነበር አዲስ የተፈጠረ ነገር አይደለም ግን ከእይታ ችግር
Gorgora is a massive natural endowment that we were blind to it, but now we have opened our eyes. This enormous natural resource can benefit not only Ethiopia but also others. When we go back to the countries we are assigned, we will promote that Ethiopia is conducive for tourism. It is a moment by which we understand our people deserve much more than this. Overall, I am very much impressed.
ኢትዮጵያ ለቱሪዝም በጣም ምቹ የሆነች መሆኗን ህዝባችንም ከዚህ በላይ የሚገባ መሆኑን በደንብ የተገነዘብንበት ፕሮጀክት ነውና በጣም ነው የተደነኩት.
Ethiopian ambassador to Pakistan Jamal Bakr indicated that since the major work of missionaries is economic diplomacy, the diplomats are expected to help the country generate income by promoting its development achievements.
ትልቁ ነገር አንደኛው የኛ የኢኮኖሚክ ዲፕሎማሲ ነው ዋናኛው ቁልፉ ስራ ማለት ነው.
The major role of we the ambassadors is economic diplomacy. Among the economic diplomacy, tourism is one. It is one which is shining among the indigenous reform. Our key role onwards will be promoting our tourist destinations, and we have to ensure the development of our country.
አገራችን የተያዘችውን የለውጥ ጉዞ ማሳካት ቁልፉ ስራችን ይሆናል ብዬ አስባለሁ.
Foreign Affairs State Minister Ambassador Burtukan Ayanu on her part pointed out that in the future Dine for Ethiopia projects are expected to become major tourist destinations in Ethiopia.
እንደዚህ አይነት የቱሪስት መስህብ ቦታ የሆነ ለአካባቢው ማህበረሰብም የሥራ ዕድል የሚፈጥር
Such a tourist destination has a great opportunity to the locality in creating jobs and the ambassadors will promote these to tourists when they go back to their assigned country. Moreover, they will raise support for the realization of the project.
ፕሮጀክቱ እስከሚጠናቀቅ ድረስ የሚፈለግ ድጋፍም ካለ በተመሳሳይ ሁኔታ ድጋፍ ያሰባስባሉ ማለት ነው።
She also stated that the projects are symbolic development works that Ethiopians can commence and complete development projects on time.
According to the manager of Gorgora project, the glorious Gorgora project is getting closer to completion as the final phase of the construction is well underway. Brian Workner reports.
Gorgora, along with Wenchi and Koisha projects, is part of the national projects initiated by Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed in 2020 to preserve natural resources and unleash tourism potentials in the country. As part of Dine for Nation initiative, Gorgora project aimed to have an immense contribution to boost and expand the tourism site of northern Ethiopia. High-level officials from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and ambassadors representing Ethiopia in various countries, among others, have visited the progress of the Gorgora project. Praising the progress of the project with quality and speed, they said the project is a heritage that can drive Ethiopia's tourism growth forward. Manager of Gorgora project, Faisal Safa, said the construction of the project is well underway with maintaining quality and speed. According to the manager, the construction of amphitheater that has been built on Lake Tana as well as the port and other service provider facilities have been completed. Noting the completion of road construction, which is part of the project, he said other construction activities also reached to the final stage. According to the manager, activities are well underway to complete the final phase of the construction within 3 months with full dedication. He affirmed that once the construction of the project gets completed, Gorgora will be one of the glorious sights of Ethiopia with its gorgeous scenery.
Ethiopian ambassador said that Ethiopia's favorable investment climate adds impetus to foreign investors to come and invest in the country. Ababa Burhane will give us the detail.
Ambassadors who represented Ethiopia in different countries told Ethiopian news agency that favorable conditions for investment have been created in Ethiopia, including the expansion of infrastructure. They expressed their commitment to working hard to promote investment potential of the country, increase the flow of foreign direct investment and expand market destinations for Ethiopia's products. Ethiopia's ambassador to Canada, Fitsum Aragga, said that many development activities have been carried out and expanded power supply in Ethiopia, adding that the expansion of industrial park is helpful to attract investors. He said the government will continue with its efforts and commitment to promoting Ethiopia's potential resources, urging Ethiopian diaspora and foreign investors to come and invest in Ethiopia. The ambassador said that infrastructure facilities and energy supply are ready for investment for foreign and diaspora investors, adding that the power supply and land provision fulfilled in the industrial parks and agro-processing or integrated agro-park as well as for special economic zones investments.
አሁን ባለው ሁኔታ ኢትዮጵያ ውስጥ ብዙ ምቹ ሁኔታዎች አሉ። የኢንቨስትመንት ህጉ ተሻሽሏል።
In the current situation, Ethiopia has many favorable conditions where the investment law and the commercial law have been updated. Sectors that were not allowed to foreign investors, such as telecom, banking, finance in general, are now open for them. There are favorable conditions created in general. These are important infrastructure for the growth of the business sector and investment. We are introducing these favorable conditions, especially now with the peace agreement. The demand is increasing.
በተለይ ደግሞ አሁን የሰላም መምጣት ጋር ተያይዞ ተፈላጊነቱ ይበለጠ እየጨመረ ነው።
Deputy Head of Mission at Ethiopian Embassy in Brussels, Ambassador Shami Bofitamo, on his part said that efforts will be exerted to find global markets for Ethiopian products. He said that Ethiopia has a great potential for investment, adding that they are promoting this potential to those with financial capacity and long-time experience who they think will benefit if they come and invest in Ethiopia.
ኢትዮጵያ ትልቅ የንግድም የኢንቨስትመንትም ቅርብ ለአውሮፓ ህብረት
Ethiopia has a large trade and investment potential, geophysical attachment to European countries, and we are in the Horn of Africa. This means it connects the European Union and the Middle East. Because of this location advantage, we traditionally have a long-term trade relationship with the European Union. We are working to expedite this and introduce new products to the market.
ተጨማሪ ምርቶች አዳዲስ ምርቶችም እንዲገቡ የማድረግ ስራ እንሰራለን።
Newly appointed Ethiopian ambassador to Russia, Cham Ugala, on his part said that there is another good opportunity for the two countries to enter into business. Russia opened business center in Addis Ababa. This is a good opportunity for Ethiopia. It will facilitate to bring Russian business people to Ethiopia and vice versa.
Russia ኢንቨስተሮችና የቢዝነስ ሰዎች በአሁኑ ሰዓት ፊታቸው ወደ አፍሪካ
Russian investors are currently turning their attention to Africa, Asia and Latin America. This is a very good opportunity for us. As you might know, Russia is an old friend of Ethiopia. Our airline flies 3 times a week to Moscow. This is a good opportunity for tourists to come to Ethiopia and use this airline as transit to other African destinations. This is creating a very favorable situation for us.
ይሄ ለኛ በጣም ምቹ ሁኔታ ነው እየፈጠረ ያለው።
Ethiopia also exports flour, coffee and kidney bean to Russia. Efforts are also underway to increase the volume of export items in the future.
Ethiopian ambassador to Tanzania disclosed that the government of Ethiopia is working in collaboration with pertinent international institutions to repatriate Ethiopian migrants who are in prison in Tanzania. Burhanu Warkana will give us the detail.
Tanzania and Malawi are on the southern migration route used by mainly Ethiopian migrants traveling to South Africa to find work cheated by migrant smugglers. Most of these migrants have also been arrested by authorities of the countries through which they attempt to transit, whose journeys are characterized by various harsh experiences, including death. The Ethiopian migrants that ended up in the prisons of Tanzania and Malawi are to be mentioned in this regard. Ethiopian ambassador to Tanzania, Shiburu Mamo, told INA that significant number of Ethiopian youths have been going through very harsh situations in their journey to enter South Africa illegally. He mentioned that some 5,000 Ethiopian migrants had been arrested and imprisoned by the government of Tanzania at various times while attempting to enter South Africa through Malawi's border. The ambassador said some 1,099 Ethiopian migrants that were in Tanzanian prisons have been repatriated to their motherland this year in an operation carried out in collaboration with IOM. He also indicated the efforts being undertaken by the government will be further intensified to repatriate the Ethiopian migrants from Tanzania in partnership with IOM. He pointed out that in order to sustainably prevent human trafficking, an agreement has been reached with the countries to carry out strict control work in the border between Kenya and Ethiopia, as well as on the border of Kenya and Tanzania. The ambassador said other activities will also be carried out with a view to mitigating this illegal act by creating domestic jobs.
According to the Economic Commission for Africa, the 9th session of the African Regional Forum on Sustainable Development will be convened next month in Niamey, Niger. Ababa Burhani reports.
The forum is organized jointly by Economic Commission for Africa and the government of Niger in collaboration with the African Union Commission, the African Development Bank and other entities in the United Nations system. The theme of the 9th session of the regional forum is accelerating the inclusive and green recovery from multiple crises and the integrated and full implementation of the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development and Agenda 2063. During the session, an in-depth review will be undertaken of progress made in the implementation of 5 selected sustainable development goals namely Goal 6, Clean Water and Sanitation, Goal 7, Affordable and Clean Energy, Goal 9, Industry, Innovation and Infrastructure, Goal 11, Sustainable Cities and Communities, and Goal 17, Partnerships for the Goals and the corresponding goals of Agenda 2063. The regional forum will also serve as a platform for the sharing of experiences, good practices and lessons learned in efforts to implement the two agendas. In addition, participants will identify and build a consensus on policy options and actions to be adopted in the form of key messages and a declaration to drive actions towards accelerated, inclusive and green recovery from the multiple crises alongside the full implementation of the two agendas. The key message and the declaration will also serve as the collective African input to the 2023 High-Level Political Forum on Sustainable Development to be held in New York from 10 to 20 July 2023 and Sustainable Development Goals Summit at Heads of State and Government High-Level Week in September 2023. The regional forum will bring together ministers and other high-level policymakers and experts from governments and intergovernmental organizations, the private sector, civil society organizations and other major groups and international development partners. The regional forum will be held in a hybrid format following both in-person and online participation. The details for both options will be made available as soon as they are finalized.
Proceeding to news beyond borders. The BBC is seeking a rising star of African journalist for the BBC News, Komla Dumer. Now, in its 8th year, journalists from across Africa are invited to apply for the award, which aims to uncover and promote fresh talent from the continent. The winner will spend 3 months at the BBC headquarters in London, gaining skills and experience. Applications closed on 14 February 2023. The award was established to honor Komla Dumer, an exceptional Ghanaian broadcaster and presenter for BBC World News, who died suddenly aged 41 years in 2014. Dumer's widow, Kwansama Dumer, said she was proud of her husband's impact at the BBC and also said her family were thankful to the BBC for remembering him. Through the prize, the BBC is encouraging journalists across Africa to apply for the prize, which seeks to promote and celebrate outstanding journalistic talent living and working on the continent. The first ever TikTok Creator Awards took place in Kenya's capital Nairobi over the weekend, held to celebrate TikTokers from sub-Saharan Africa. The nominees were chosen by the TikTok in recognition of the immense talents and creativities they brought to the platform in the past year. TikTokers, or creators as they are known on the platform, make short-form vertical videos which many of the African nominees showcasing their dance moves, beauty tips and cooking skills. TikTok's head of content programming in sub-Saharan Africa, Bonisawa Sidababa, said, "With this inaugural awards, TikTok aims to give creators in sub-Saharan Africa the recognition they deserve and to encourage them to tell the African story while spreading joy at all times." The winners and runner-ups represented the 4 regions: West Africa, Southern Africa, East Africa, and sub-Saharan Africa. Somalia's government forces have taken the port town of Haradire and nearby Galkar town in central Somalia in one of their most significant victories since launching an offensive August Al-Shabaab terror group last year. Let's get more from the report. According to top officials, Somalia's armed forces have captured a strategic coastal town that the Al-Shabaab terror group had held for more than a decade. Defense Minister Abdulkadir Mohamed Noor said in a broadcast on a state-owned television that Government forces on Monday took the port town of Harar as well as the nearby town of Galkad in central Somalia's Galmudug region. Defense Minister Noor said Harar and Galkad districts have been taken from the hands of the Al-Shabaab terrorists. The minister added that this means Al-Shabaab is overpowered and gone, and the remaining towns will also be liberated soon. Harar was a major base for pirates hijacking merchant ships until 2011. It was later taken over by Al-Shabaab, which first rose up against the government in 2007 before pledging allegiance to Al-Qaeda. A senior Puntland force officer, Maulid Muhad, told Reuters news agency that also on Monday, government forces acting jointly with militias and regional forces from Galmudug and forces from the neighboring region of Puntland captures El Dahire, another town in Galmudug. Deputy Telecommunications Minister Hussein Ahmed, one of several senior officials embedded with the troops that advanced on Harar, told Agence France Presse that the port had been a key supply route for Al-Shabaab for both people and goods. Al-Shabaab spokespersons could not immediately be reached for a comment. This is Amhara Media Corporation Habar channel, and you are watching our daily update live from Bahar Dar, Ethiopia. And now let's see the foreign currency exchange rate of the day. This is all we got for today. I am Fikrat Dizodo, and you are watching our Tuesday update live from Bahar Dar, Ethiopia. Goodbye and have a nice time.